I believe that most people will recognize that Buakaw, pound for pound, is one of the best kickers in the world. Of course, there's going to be guys spread throughout Thailand and other spots of the world that have equally as devastating kicks, but they don't have the same name, the same notoriety. If we're looking at somebody who we know and who we can style our kick after, to me, it's Buakaw. We're going to focus in today on his round kick at body level and talk about 4 points, which we can try and mimic to make our kick a bit more like his. Our episode partner today is XMartial. They have gear ranging all the way from backpacks for your gloves and shin pads. Obviously, you can get your gloves and shin pads there. Rash guards, awesome variety of shorts, really anything you need. I have a promo code Gabriel Varga to save you 10%. Be sure to check out XMartial. So years ago, like we're talking back when I was in my amateur career, when would that have been? 2006, 2007, I would find these little clips, like the one I already showed you of Buakaw blasting in round kicks. And I would go, oh, what can I do to be more like him? Now, with YouTube, everybody can find so much information on every fighter. But this is still a clip that I like to go back to and watch because I think it's beautiful. I think the technique is amazing. So let's jump right into a couple of things which he is doing. Number one, his switch kick, has always been spectacular. And what we have to look at is how does he set it up? One of the very nice things which I think he does is when he's in his stance and he switches, he covers a little bit of distance, so he closes it. But what I want to draw extra attention to is his back leg landing in a pre-pivoted position. A lot of people struggle with the skip and then trying to create that pivot and keep that speed up. But he is so fast, I think in part because he already lands right there. And if you're trying to speed up that switch kick, not so much the speed in which you can actually switch your feet, but the overall technique, getting from here to here and hitting somebody, you can try and do it the way Buakaw does. You'll note in his fights, he does this as well. A little switch and the foot is already in that position. All he has to do from there now is unwind the body, but no extra time, no extra effort put into this kick. Now, I'm not going to tell you that one way is wrong and one way is right when it comes to throwing round kicks in terms of what your head is doing. But I do like to note that when we see Buakaw and he throws his kick, his head stays very stationary. He's not leaning backwards or sideways or anything. It's staying right above him. And I think this really helps with creating power, avoiding instability, and really because your leg is so much longer than an arm, you don't have to worry about, oh, okay, I'm here and I'm going to get punched. Shouldn't happen, right? I cannot reach there, but I can with this. So overall, I think the key on this little tip here is to make sure the head is not going all over the place, and especially not really needing to lean back. I know a lot of people think that that hand is a threat, but you don't worry about that. You worry about that once you come out and you exit. But if somebody throws as you're kicking, number one, they're out of range. Number two, they're going to open themselves up to either getting kicked in the ribs or if they throw off the other side, getting battered and knocked out of position. Now, this is just something that so many UFC fighters and so many people do not do, but I feel like it's so important to maximize power. And that is, once we've already got to this nice skip position, we have to elevate the heel. We have to get that heel off the ground. And this is going to help you come out of the kick faster as well. Because if your heel stays flat, trying to unpivot, you're going to kind of stick. But when you have that elevation, you're able to get back into position very quick. And in addition, if you're kicking any direction upwards, you're going to get that extra lift through the heel and get a little bit more power, just a little bit more, but it's enough. So when you watch Buakaw, it's always up and then back down. Even on his multiple round kicks, he's going up and down over and over. Really work that. I actually just did an episode on my membership community where we were talking about how to condition the calves. What are the drills that I do to make sure that we can go up and down and up and down and up and down over and over without those calves locking up. Something you definitely want to consider doing because it is fatiguing there. But when you look at Buakaw, you see his calves, they are so massive. It's obviously not an issue for him, but play with that. Think, okay, I'm throwing my round kick, whether it's back leg or front leg, and I'm trying to come upwards pretty much as late as possible. I don't want to come up really early, be like, okay, I'm up, and now I kick. I use that momentum at the end, boom, to create some extra power. And the final thing that I want to draw attention to with his technique is how his body is shifting so far sideways. He has his hands in the position which we're taught, right? One swings, one stays up, but he really torques that body to the side. And so often when I see, in particular, UFC fighters hitting pads, they throw their kicks and they're kind of keeping their chest fairly square as opposed to getting that max rotation. I feel like the max rotation is really going to help you on that follow through and give you those bone crushing kicks, which we see Buakaw execute. When you try to throw your kick off either leg, think, okay, if I'm kicking here, my body either needs to be this way or this way. I throw, I twist. Other side, I throw, I twist. Arm swings down. He does this so well, and it just re-emphasizes, I think, how important this is to your overall roundhouse technique. So there are 4 tips for you to start making your kicks look a little bit more like this Muay Thai legend. If you can dial those in, I think you're going to be happy very fast with the changes you'll see in the power, the speed, the technique of this very powerful kick. That's all, guys. Thanks for joining. As always, train hard. I will see you back here soon for another video.